welcome back to Danford Golf. Today we're going to talk about why you don't want to try to lag the golf club. It's a little bit different than what you're going to come across on most channels. A lot of YouTube channels that's what they kind of focus on, is lagging the golf club. Today I'm going to talk about why you don't want to try to lag that golf club. All right, some of the reasons, what happens when you're trying to lag the golf club, both good and bad, and what happens if you tend to lag the golf club too much. What shot does that occur, or what happens if you tend to lag the club too much? So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up. If you have any comments, we get to those as quick as we can, and we always appreciate your support, so make sure you subscribe. So the topic today is why we don't want to try to lag the golf club. All right. If you haven't figured it out already, whenever you try to do something in your golf swing, when you physically are thinking about it, automatically, most of the time, it doesn't work out for you. It tends to go sideways, or you're too caught up with thinking and you don't have what's feeling going on. So I've seen lots of people, they'll take it back and they're really working on trying to keep that wrist set, really trying to lag that golf club. All right. The big reason why you don't want to try to lag the golf club or force yourself to lag the golf club is because it's never going to actually work. Okay, if your body isn't doing the correct sequence, then no matter how hard you try to hold it, it's not going to work out. So if things are out of sequence and you have developed the ability to hold the lag, so it looks really good when you tape yourself, but you're flaring it out sideways, it doesn't matter because your sequence is way off. So if you are actually somebody who wants to lag the golf club, we can talk about that. We'll do that here in a second. All right, but first off, you got to get over the idea of that you're trying to do it, or you're trying to hold a position, anything like that. It's not going to work out if you're trying to physically hold it, if your club face is wrong, if you don't actually know what to do to lag the golf club. All right, so we're going to going on the sequence first, all right, and then we'll cover what happens if you actually lag the club too much. So some people have this going on and they don't know what to do to fix it. The first thing that we need to cover to help you with your sequence, or to help you become somebody who can lag the golf club rather than somebody who's trying to lag the golf club, is your grip pressure. All right. Sam Snead used to describe it as holding it like you should hold it like toothpaste, or holding it like you're holding on to a bird, something like that. Not necessarily true. So if you think about it, if you hold it really light and then you tend to squeeze on the way down, all right, if you squeeze something, your wrists like to go into a straight pattern or a straight motion, whatever you want to call it. All right, so automatically, no matter if your sequence is great, but you start really soft and then you squeeze, it's going to go into an extension, right? And your ability to lag the golf club is never going to happen. So I would rather see you hold the club a little bit tighter. All right, because then it's easier for you to maintain a level of being tight rather than being too light. So it just makes it a little bit easier as far as grip pressure goes. So just hold it a little bit tighter, a little bit more firm is one of our first steps to helping you lag the golf club. Our next step to help you lag the golf club is the sequence of your body. Okay, so if you are one of those people who really likes to try to get their hips open like Dustin Johnson, which most likely you're not actually flexible enough to do, all right, this is what's going to feel weird to you. So most people like to fly their hips open, and a lot of times they can't disassociate or basically move their upper body from their lower body. So you can do a test real fast. You can bend into your golf posture, keep your hips completely still, and move your shoulders. All right, this might be something that you can actually accomplish. If you try to do this and everything looks like it's moving together, then you're not going to be a person who tries to get their hips open like Dustin Johnson, okay? Your ability to lag the golf club will be almost impossible for a long time. So what I want you to do first is, when you get to the top of that backswing, that firm grip pressure, I want you to feel like your hips basically do not turn or do not release. They're going to feel like they kind of stay back or towards the target for a long time, right? Because the way to achieve lagging the golf club is actually getting your arms back in front of your body, and you have to do it the correct way. If you get your arms back in front of your body but your hands are out in front of you this way, or over the top or steep, your body's going to stand up. You're going to lose your posture, going to stand up into extension. Okay? So we need to make sure that when we get to the top, we have the right grip pressure, hips stay pretty quiet, and then you're going to really feel like your hands drop back down in front of you. Okay, so if you look at that from face on, when I get to the top, and my hands drop and my hips don't turn a lot, you're going to see there's that lag position. But if I really turn my hips a lot, I'm going to end up throwing it early. Okay, and yes, some people have the ability to get their hips open more than some of others. Okay, and that's okay. But you still have to have that right sequence, and the right sequence is when you get to the top, before you turn a whole bunch, is you got to feel like your arms drop back down in front of you. Okay, they got to get back in front of you. It almost feels like your right arm goes to extension, and it almost gets straight there. But you can see that it's kind of in front of my chest here. It's not out there. It's not stuck behind me. Okay, so if you want to get really good at trying to lag the club, make sure that you kind of apply some of these principles to the top. Hips stay closed, hands stay kind of firm, right? Hands kind of fire back in front, and then at that point in time, that's when you're going to post, release, and do all the other stuff that we need to do to hit the ball good, right? So quit trying to lag the golf club. One final tip is when you are swinging down, if that face is open, you're going to flip and release early, all right? So you have to feel when you're dropping that club down that that face is starting to square up towards the ground. The toe is going to be down a little bit to help you basically maintain it. Don't try to hold it. And then if you sequence it correctly, you'll release it and you'll hit the ball really good. A few things: if you are lagging the golf club, you're going to see a few differences. Automatically it's going to go further. Automatically it's going to go a little bit lower. All right. Now if you're somebody who tends to lag the club or over lag the club, there's a few of these out there. Is you held it for so long that your hands basically get in front of the golf ball into impact. Even if your swing plane and everything is great, you actually tend to cut across it. So the face tends to be open and you tend to hit stuff too low, so you lose distance, right? So if you struggle with really, you've worked on lagging it forever, but everything's going low and you're hitting it right, if you're a right-handed golfer, what you need to do is you need to start off with smaller swings and almost feel like you release your hands earlier in the downswing, which is the complete opposite of everybody else who's trying to create lag, is you're trying to get rid of some of it a little bit earlier. And if you do that correctly, you'll hit it higher and you're definitely going to hit it farther. All right, so hope these little tips kind of help you out today. Make sure you subscribe and we'll see you back here.